Hello, and welcome to another coverage of the UDSRA 360 Sprints on Dirt. I'm your host, Tyler Burnett with Dirt Sim TV. We are in the great city of Omaha, Nebraska, at the beautiful Eagle Speedway. I'm joined by my co-host, Ryan Griffith. How's it going today, Ryan?
It's going great. I love coming to Eagle Speedway. It's one of the best tracks on our circuit that creates that side-by-side racing. And what beautiful weather we have tonight for great racing action.
And let's just talk about some action earlier in the evening. In qualifying, DSR TJ was the last to go out and qualify. QTR 18 TB had the first spot wrapped up until TJ put up a great time on the final qualifying session and stole the pole. In the heats, we had some great side-by-side racing. Both QTR boys took home the wins in the first two heats, with QTR 18 TB coming from the tail of the field, and QTR 56 winning from the second row outside. What do you think of the action so far, Ryan?
Well, definitely in qualifying, that just shows you the strength of TJ. That puts a lot of pressure on a guy going out last and knowing that these guys is already went ahead of you. You've got a lot of eyes looking on you. And to upset, come out there, you be in the last qualifier and be able to turn that quick time, now that takes a good driver, for one. And definitely, you got to look at these QTR boys. Coming from the rear of the field and pulling off a win in your heats, it's stiff competition out here, and be able to do that, that's something we got to watch.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some great racing. And we look at some of the drivers tonight. The national points race is very tight at the moment. But one of the guys that sticks out to you is TPR Scrappy. He's in the points lead coming into tonight's race with a victory at Attica Speedway and a second place finish at Seven Flags Speedway.
Oh, definitely. Scrappy is one of those guys that you just got to watch because he'll just amaze you every time. Look at Attica, came away with a victory. And I'm sure it won't be the last of his victories in the 360. He's got plenty of experience in it, and obviously, he's got great success.
Yeah, and he's been battling out with a great driver here. QTR 18 TB has had some ups and downs in the series, but he's been giving some Scrappy some runs.
Oh, definitely. It's starting to become a rivalry between those two. Who's the better driver? Tonight, we might just see that.
Yeah, 18TB has been a consistent driver in past series and has ran more 410 shows than he has 360 shows. But he's dialing himself into the 360s, and he's lined up to give Scrappy a great run for his money tonight at Eagle.
Yeah, I've seen 18TB run in the 410s, and he is very consistent with the 410s. And he hasn't had very many outings with the 360, but like you said, yes, he is dialing himself in, and he is becoming a threat week in and week after. And of course, I bet Scrappy, he's feeling a little sweat.
Yeah, as I noticed, you went down there to get a hot dog before we went on the air, and I seen you stop by the track. How did it look down there?
Oh, well, the surface has really changed from qualifying heat to now what we're about to go into our feature race. When we started the night, it was very tacky, wet, very fast times come out of that. As the heat progressed, the surface slipped off really quick, and that's what created a side-by-side racing. And I think that's why the 18TB was able to go clear to the front, is because of that slicker track. So here in the A main, we might be setting ourselves up for one of the best shows here at Eagle Raceway.
Well, it looks like Test and Tune is about over with, and it's time to announce the starting lineup. Now it's time for the starting lineup of the UDSRA 360 Sprints here at Eagle Speedway. Starting on the front row inside, Medler Trucking Coca-Cola machine of QTR 56. And on the outside of him, the Pepsi Act sponsor number 11 of DSR TJ.
Starting in the second row, inside the Richard Petty Memorial, the 3C of Jimmy Patterson. On the outside of row 2, the black and white 02 Total Performance Scrappy.
On the inside of row 3, the black and white 51 of Eric Reniger. And on the outside of him, the great clips, Casey Kano 91 of Nick Edson.
Starting in the fourth row, inside, blue and black, W&K Chevrolet, the 26 of Todd LeBeau. on the outside of row 4 in the white and black and orange, number 11, Shane Gott.
In the final row, starting on the inside, the Monster Hoosier sponsored, number 23 of Matt Hoffman. On the outside of him, being penalized from the front row, Jimmy Johnson 05 Tribute of QTR 18 TB. 30 laps is your distance, folks. Here we go. It's time to go racing here at Eagle Speedway. Ready here at UDSRA 360 Sprints. And out of turn 3, Hale takes the lead, going on to the bottom of the track with TPR Scrappy coming right behind him.
Entering into turn 1, Cale still has a good lead over Scrappy, with Jimmy Patterson following right behind.
Hale comes in, he slides down to the bottom, and Scrappy takes the high line with Jimmy Patterson following right behind him.
Cale still has a lead. Looks like a battle back here with Jimmy Patterson.
Eric Reniger and Jimmy Patterson battling for the back, but Reniger takes the lead while Jimmy Patterson falls right behind him.
Still, though, the battle is side by side on the backstretch. They touch just a little bit going into 3.
Jimmy Patterson gets out of the races. Reniger comes in, and Todd LeBeau following right behind him.
And back up front, it's getting close. A heated battle between Cale and Scrappy.
Turn 3 and 4. Scrappy making a run on the bottom of the track.
And they're side by side.
Taking the preferred high line as Cale comes to the bottom of the track. They're going too wide around here at Eagle Speedway.
Still, side by side, neither one wants to give. This is just a great battle up front for the lead. Who's going to screw up first?
He's got it hooked up at the top of the track on that cushion, as Cale's got it working really well at the bottom of the track.
Yes, he does, and that's a momentum shifter right there, as he's got the top line just working, and there he goes.
Again to the bottom of the track, really cutting it off as Scrappy and Cale enter lap traffic.
Lap traffic, this is going to be tough for Cale. Also Scrappy and, Scrappy getting close to another driver.
Edson right in front of Scrappy as Cale dives to the bottom of the track, and Scrappy following Nick Edson in the lap car.
And they are getting just bottled up there by the lap traffic, and they finally clear that, and they're still a little bit side by side here.
Scrappy falls in behind Cale. He's making a run on the outside of Cale as Cale's coming up to the top of the track and diving to the bottom of the track.
Cale gets it a little bit bite on the bottom there on the tires, and there goes Scrappy by for the lead.
You're Scrappy, the experienced driver on the track, heads to the top of the track and takes the lead from Cale Medler.
Cale just has to sink in and start driving second and try to reel Scrappy back in.
You cannot let TPR Scrappy take the lead in this race. He will not be caught if he is ahead of you. He is just way too fast to be caught.
Well, the main thing is he just don't make mistakes as like others do. And he's so smooth out there, just like he is showing every week.
TPR Scrappy is taking the below line and the 1 and 2 and the high line in 3 and 4, which is a great line. And Cale's taking the bottom in both turns.
Yeah, I believe Cale's just losing a little bit of momentum. I think he just got flushed after getting down on those tires there. I don't know if it messed his car up a little bit, but he is dropping back a little bit from Scrappy.
As you can see, Scrappy's entering lap track at UC QTR 18B in there, battling with 2 cars for that transfer spot.
It is still. Oh, and some lap traffic definitely getting thick. Let's see who's going to manage out of this one. Is Scrappy going to get held up, or is Cale going to close in? It looks like the gap is still the same.
Nothing is going to stop TPR Scrappy. He's running by lap traffic like they're just sitting still.
Yeah, and that just comes down to he's just an all-around solid race car driver. You just can't ask for anything better.
You see the lap car of QTR ATB not giving up. As you know, Cale and Tim are teammates. They are battling for that spot, and QTR ATB is still battling for the top 5 positions because there's a lot of lap cars on this track.
Oh yeah, and it don't take long. Just a small little hiccup, a mistake, and you find yourself just falling back. And it's good to see a teammate like that trying to battle leaders like that, just trying to still be competitive as even being a lap car down.
TPR Scrappy is pulling away from his field and looks like he's going to take the win at Eagle Speedway. No one is going to catch him. Kale is just holding on to that second place spot as he is lagging behind.
Yeah, and I really think something must have happened when he got into those tires down there. It could have knocked out of his alignment or something, but he don't seem as fast down there on the bottom as what he was. Either that or just Scrappy just got faster.
Total Performance Racing 02 Scrappy has a win at Attica Speedway. He has a second place finish at Seven Flag Speedway, as him and QTR 18TB, the lap car, are battling it out right now.
Yeah, this is just this is a great battle right here just to watch, and why we're just watching this one is because it's about the only good battle on the racetrack right now. Even though it is a lap car, this is still fun action to watch.
TPR Scrappy, he has a couple more circuits to take home this win at Eagle Speedway.
And we talked about the rivalry starting up. Well, this could be it right here. A lap car of 18TB and Scrappy. They're going at it, and it's a lap car. This is what a rivalry is all about.
A turn 4. Scrappy, and QTR 18TB gets into him at the finish of the race.
Now that is a wrecking finish.
Congratulations to TPR Scrappy in the victory here at Eagle Speedway, with QTR 56 coming in second place.
Yeah, you absolutely have to give it up to TJ. What a great race. He had that top side working, and him and Kale, they just had it side by side for, it was probably a good 8 to 10 laps side by side, and it just, one of them had a little hiccup there on the bottom, got into the tire, and that got Scrappy around, and that was enough.
We talked at the beginning of the show. TPR Scrappy is hard to beat in these 360 cars. He just finds the great lines on the track to get this car working.
Yeah, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. This guy is for real. He's solid week in, week out, and you can't beat yourself.
As QTR 18TB did with the penalize of jumping the start for the first 2 races. See that he had one of the faster cars on the track as he was battling with TPR Scrappy there at the end of the race. But if you start in the back of the field, it is very hard, especially on a slick Eagle Speedway, to make it to the front of the field.
Absolutely. 18TB shot himself in the foot. You never know how this would have turned out if them two were starting on the front row, or even if it was Kale, 18TB, and Scrappy. Now that would have been something to watch, but you shoot yourself in the foot, you got to face the consequences.
It was a great race here at Eagle Speedway. I send it off with a couple pictures of TPR Scrappy, and final words from Ryan. What do you think, Ryan, of the race here tonight?
Overall, it was kind of what we expected. The track definitely did slicken off. There was some good side-by-side racing, as we've seen early in the race. A few mistakes is what caused, Scrappy to end up taking the victory. Overall, excellent show here at Eagle Speedway.
Can't wait to be back here next week at Huset's Speedway, where we have the UDSRA 360s going head-to-head in South Dakota. Thanks to everyone here for the help. And thank you, Ryan, for coming to co-host with me. I'm Tyler Burnett from Sim Dirt TV. You ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1.